News!
Okay, we'll start with this. The continued fallout of Shakur Stevenson's performance this past weekend, and how some thought it wrong that during the fight and during the live broadcast, the production team over there at ESPN panned over to the audience as they were leaving.
They were bored.
Sharita Metcalf stated, ESPN is wrong for showing people already leaving the arena before the fight was over. Boxing scribe Hans Themistode said, Toprank is foul. Why would they turn the camera to the fans leaving the arena? Shaking my head. Andre Berto said, why is Toprank showing the people in the arena leaving? Shaking my head. They nasty for that, LOL. It's Shakur's last fight with them, so I believe they are being petty, showing they don't mind letting him go.
Nobody ever tells the whole story, though, do they? That Toprank, for as foul as people think they are, they offered Shakur a contract extension for the same kind of money he's been making.
Moreover, Shakur Stevenson, in the build-up of the Artem Haratunian fight, has taken several shots at Toprank as a promotional company and Bob. He said Bob needs to shut up because he's not even running his own company.
That Toprank stalled his career.
So, there's nothing wrong with Shakur taking shots at Toprank, but there is something wrong with Toprank retaliating.
If that's what that was.
There's supposed to be something wrong with that. Fellow content creator D. Styles said, ESPN is the broadcaster, not Toprank. Why are you against the truth being shown?
It's a damn good question.
What's the expectation? That this information should be suppressed? It's a matter of fact.
People were bored and people were leaving. You want we should pretend that's not going on?
So we can coddle Shakur Stevenson? Why does it always work out to where the fighter is supposed to be coddled? The fighter is always in the right, and they should always get whatever they want.
That he can defame Toprank as a promotional company, but God forbid they retaliate.
D. Styles continued, people crying about ESPN showing people leaving Shakur's fight is hilarious. Why are you worried about what Toprank and ESPN are doing to Shakur rather than the damage of broadcasting boring-ass snoozers and what that's doing to the sport? Paying customers are leaving the arena, for fuck's sake.
Another valid point.
Fights like the De Los Santos fight or this past weekend's Haratunian fight are harmful to the sport. That a fight like that is being broadcasted on a major network, but it's not entertaining from a fighter who's demanding the moon and the stars.
Is ESPN supposed to hide that?
Don't show all the people that are getting up and leaving before the fight is over, so Shakur Stevenson's inflated sense of self, his inflated ego, can carry on about how it's Toprank's fault.
They stalled his career.
They don't know how to promote him. It's all bullshit.
8,000 people showed up.
If over 8,000 people showed up, it's because Toprank did their job. They held up their end of the bargain. They promoted the fight, but what happens within the fight and whether or not it's entertaining, that's up to Shakur. And how people react to it, that's up to them.
It's not up to Toprank.
In what area did Toprank fail Shakur Stevenson? What, because they didn't get him a George Kambosos fight?
Is that what you think this is about?
That because Toprank didn't pressure George, who didn't want to fight him anyway, to fight him, that's why people think he's boring? That's the nature of the problem.
Well, that's what Shakur was complaining about.
No, because Shakur was going to go to Australia like Vasyl Lomachenko went to Australia. You didn't want to go to the UK for a Josh Warrington fight offered to you by Eddie Hearn. You didn't want to travel.
You didn't want to travel for Josh Warrington years ago. You likely wouldn't have wanted to travel for George Kambosos years later, where Vasyl Lomachenko, he was willing to.
Can't people just say what the fuck it is? You're a pain in the ass, you're a prima donna, a pretty little princess.
You're hard to work with.
Shakur never would have made a concession like that. Go to Australia as the away fighter, the traveling champion. He wouldn't have did it.
Call a spade a spade.
Tell it like it is. Your problem and the nature of it is not whether or not you got a George Kambosos fight, because even if you got that fight,
be honest,
Shakur was going to knock him out.
Huh?
Shakur was going to put on a stellar performance. Vasyl Lomachenko went in there, and he hit this guy with every punch that you can hit a guy with.
Round after round.
Into the later rounds. Vasyl Lomachenko, who's always had more of a work rate than Shakur Stevenson. So ask yourself, if they swapped out Loma and gave the fight to Shakur, would Shakur have knocked him out?
Fuck no.
Would it have been as entertaining a fight if they gave it to Shakur instead of Lomachenko?
No.
You would have went out there, you would have fought another safe fight that doesn't entertain anybody, then afterwards acted like your shit don't stink. Shakur Stevenson, in his own words, said, It's over. Take the L out of lover.
How original.
They proved to the world numerous times they can't help a black fighter turn into a superstar. Now watch how much I go up without them.
Here we go again.
So where would Shakur Stevenson have got it in his head that the nature of his problem is the color of his skin and Top Rank's inability to promote him?
If Top Rank weren't promoting you,
They weren't.
over 8,000 people wouldn't have shown up to your fight. Who do you think advertised it? Who do you think promoted it?
The featurettes for your fight, the advertisements, the posters, the updates, the weigh-ins, the press conferences.
Right.
What do you think all of that is?
Right.
That every two-bit fighter with two hands and a gum shield thinks they understand what promotion is. No, you're just repeating things you hear other people say without thinking about them, like a lot of people do.
Like when he said, "It's over. Take the L out of lover."
That catchphrase was charming the first 100 times that I heard it, that you should use it now like you invented it yourself.
Just repeating things you hear other people say.
That Top Rank is unable to promote a black fighter.
Just repeating things you hear other people say.
And who would have told him that? Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward. They service as counsel for Shakur Stevenson.
That's where he got it from.
I was and still am a fan of Terrence Crawford, but I'm not a fan of what he did and how he left Top Rank, how he accused them of racial bias because the Spence fight didn't happen. What the hell were they supposed to do about it? If Spence didn't want to fight you while you were still with Top Rank, what was the solution?
When those guys didn't want to fight you, what was Top Rank supposed to do?
Bankrupt themselves? Trying to get you those fights? They already overpaid Amir Khan. They already overpaid Cal Brook. They already overpaid Sean Porter.
They lost money.
People criticized Bob Arum for saying that he lost money on Terrence Crawford's fights. They criticized him for that, kind of like how people are criticizing ESPN for showing people leaving Shakur Stevenson's fight.
But it's the truth.
And what these people really want is for the truth to be suppressed.
Bob did lose money on Terrence's fights. That's the truth.
I don't blame Terrence for that. I don't blame Bob for that. I blame the fighters that didn't want to fight Terrence. The fights that needed to happen but didn't happen. That wasn't Top Rank's fault or Terrence's. But what Terrence did was accuse Top Rank of being racially biased. Oh, that's why those guys didn't want to fight you, because of that.
And when people say Shakur Stevenson is boring and they leave his fight early, no, it's because of this. Because Top Rank doesn't know how to promote him.
Bullshit.
That's pure bullshit.
I'm gonna say what a lot of people won't say, but what needs to be said. You're a fucking ingrate.
A spoiled brat.
Like a lot of fighters are spoiled brats these days. Guys like you, Teofimo Lopez.
You're talented. You can be talented.
But you're still a spoiled brat, and you're still a fucking ingrate. And I, for one, don't think you're a $3 million fighter.
Nobody should pay you $3 million for the kind of performances that you put on. That Top Rank was willing to pay you that, guaranteed, increased your bargaining power, and you should be thanking them.
Who's putting the money in these fighters' pockets? Money like that fighters didn't used to get.
$3 mil guaranteed.
Who's putting the money in these fighters' pockets, guaranteed, up front, no delays. Who's spending the money to promote these shows and promote these fights?
You think you're Floyd.
You think you're Floyd Mayweather. You think your story is the story of Floyd Mayweather, like a lot of young fighters today think their story is the story of Floyd Mayweather, and they are going to be the next Floyd Mayweather.
Gee, I haven't heard that before.
Shakur Stevenson posted a FaceTime conversation that he was having with none other than Floyd Mayweather.
You guys just repeat yourselves.
Take the L out of lover because of how original that is.
Did you come up with that yourself?
Not an original thought in that pea-sized brain of his.
Brain of yours.
If you agree with him that the nature of his problem is that Top Rank doesn't know how to promote him. And all you're doing in saying that is repeating what you were told without thinking about it, because you ain't got no critical thinking skills.
Moving forward, you're not with Top Rank. If you negotiate a deal with someone else for more than $3 million up front, $3 mil guaranteed, you know that's only because that's what Top Rank was giving you, right?
You understand that, right?
The bargaining power that you might now have as a free agent has everything to do with how Top Rank promoted you and what they were paying you. You owe that to them, but you're a fucking ingrate.
It doesn't get said enough that a lot of these fighters are fucking ingrates.
You think every fighter at Top Rank was making per fight what Shakur's been making?
What Terrence was making.
They weren't. There are more entertaining fighters under Top Rank than Shakur Stevenson that are not making per fight what Shakur Stevenson's been making, like Emmanuel Navarrete.
He does not get $3 million per fight. Artur Beterbiev, a knockout merchant who's knocked out everyone they've put in front of him. He doesn't get $3 million per fight, but Shakur did.
So whole of bullshit.
The pity party, poor me, they don't know how to promote me.
Whole of bullshit.
He's now accusing Top Rank of paying all those different people you see, all those different people that got up and left before the fight was over. He's now taken to accusing them of being paid by Top Rank to leave, even when they're telling him.
They weren't paid by anybody. They were just bored.
And he won't listen. The same way you won't listen when I tell you that Top Rank did right by Shakur Stevenson. They paid him well and promoted his fights.
But they can't make people like him.
So that you can turn around and blame them for your lack of popularity or entertainment value behind racial bias, which you so often weaponize to excuse your own shortcomings.
Like a lot of people do.
Sad sap.
Fuck.
Cinderella story that so many fighters are telling themselves nowadays, and so many people.
Everything is someone else's fault.
They're biased against me, poor me, victim me, look at me. You don't think you're being too hard on Shakur?
No, he gets paid $3 million per fight. I don't think I'm being too hard on little Shakur.
Kind of money most Americans will never see. Boxing is a poor man's sport. It always has been, most consumed by the working class. That I should sit here and play a fucking violin for a guy who gets paid $3 million per fight, $6 million.
2 times a year.
Because he's having a hissy fit,
bitch,
that people think his fight was boring. Well, it was. They didn't get up and leave for no reason, or because Top Rank paid them.
Go powder your nose, Cinderella. Your mascara's running.
So, Shakur Stevenson enters free agency having rejected a contract extension worth an estimated $15 million over 5 fights, $3 million a fight, presumably with the possibility of making more money should a fight be billed as a pay-per-view, adding to what he could or could have earned by staying with Top Rank.
Was this a smart move?
Only time will tell. When Terrence Crawford left Top Rank, under less than amicable circumstances, it did work out for him. But that doesn't necessarily mean that what he was saying was true, that Top Rank was holding him back or racially biased against him. No, the nature of his problem was he was in a division where many of the top players didn't want to fight him for a number of years. In the end, it all worked out. Could it work out for Shakur Stevenson? I saw that Eddie Hearn expressed an interest in signing him. He had nothing but nice things to say, but is he willing to pay more for this fighter than Top Rank was paying, in excess of $3 million? And can he do for this fighter what Shakur claims Top Rank could not do for him?
Get him the fights that Top Rank could not get for him.
It's funny because he wants a fight with the likes of Gervonta Davis, who is currently negotiating with Vasyl Lomachenko.
Loma's still with Top Rank.
So if Loma is still with Top Rank, but he's in the process of finalizing a fight with Gervonta, how could you then say that the nature of the problem is Top Rank?
If this fight goes through, Gervonta will be facing a Top Rank fighter who's still under contract with Top Rank. So maybe the nature of the problem isn't Top Rank so much as Gervonta doesn't want to fight you.
Kinda like how Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, and for a number of years, Errol Spence Jr. didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford, and there was very little that Top Rank could have done in that situation, much like this one. They can't make Gervonta Davis fight you. They can't force him to do it. If he wants to fight another one of their fighters,
we all know why.
Because he's an older fighter now who's in his mid-30s and knocking on the door of retirement, contemplating that. He's slowed down a bit, lost 1 or 2 more fights.
If they want to fight him instead of you, what is Top Rank supposed to do?
And he's with Top Rank like you used to be, where what you're saying is that Top Rank stole your career and Top Rank held you back, while a Top Rank fighter is about to get the fight that you wanted.
Still want.
So maybe the nature of the problem isn't Top Rank so much as who you're after. Does he end up going to Matchroom? It would seem like Eddie Hearn was interested in signing him, though what can he provide him with at 135 pounds at that particular weight? Now, at 140, he's got a lot more to offer and a lot more to work with. Should Shakur Stevenson move up, but does he want to? Because moving up would require him to drop his belt, his WBC title, and that bargaining power,
Title?
and he is working with Turki Al-Sheikh, among several others. There are some possibilities that might open up as a result of that. There is that to consider.
What about Dennis Berenchik?
Dennis is still on the Top Rank side of things. Top Rank did leave the door open for them to do that fight against Dennis Berenchik if things don't work out for Shakur in the open market.
We'll see.
I'm not completely sure where Shakur Stevenson goes now or what he's going to do next, who he's going to fight, when is that going to be, his financial demands. I mean, I just don't know.
He got into it with everybody yesterday. Everybody. Marcus Brown, Steve Kim,
Ishe Smith, Ryan Garcia, even Raging Babe, who's not in boxing anymore. She was a small-time promoter for a time, but she got into real estate, and he got into it with her yesterday.
everybody.
Looks like this baby needs a diaper change. The way he's lashing out at everyone for what was a lackluster and flat performance. And that's not saying that Shakur isn't skillful or talented. He's just not entertaining. He won the fight by a wide margin. I think we can all agree to that.
There's no question who won, but how you win also matters too. Developing a pound-for-pound star or a marquee attraction is not an exact science. You can be skillful, very skillful, like a Guillermo Rigondeaux.
Out of the amateurs, he was an even more decorated fighter than Shakur Stevenson and most other fighters. He didn't win just one, but 2 gold medals. However, becoming a marquee attraction really doesn't boil down to how many gold medals you win. And it doesn't even boil down to how many titles, how many alphabet titles you can procure and then unify.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't, because if it did, Clarissa Shields would be a bigger draw. She won 2 gold medals as an amateur, and she's collected a good number of titles as a professional. But in spite of all of that, Katie Taylor's still a bigger draw than she is. Amanda Serrano is still a bigger draw than she is, and they both get paid more.
So you're saying winning belts don't matter?
I didn't say that. I said becoming a pay-per-view draw and a marquee attraction is not an exact science. There's a little bit more to it than just that.
It's not just winning. It's also how you win, how you perform. That matters more than people realize.
More than the fighters know. They tell themselves, well, a win is a win.
If you say so.